There's a quiet corner in your kitchen you probably pass by every day without a second thought. A shallow wooden drawer, maybe a little dusty, maybe overflowing with receipts, batteries, mismatched screws, or rubber bands that lost their stretch years ago. It doesn't look like much, but I'll tell you something I've learned after decades studying homes, energy, and human habits. That drawer is a mirror. It reflects what you believe you're allowed to store and what you believe you're allowed to attract. It may be cluttered with randomness now, but what if I told you that space is actually absorbing energy? Every single day, not in a mystical, far-fetched way, but in a deeply practical one. Because in Feng Shui, it's not just about what you see, it's about what your home says when no one's listening. See, drawers are one of the most energetically misunderstood spaces in the entire house. They're tucked away, out of sight, and so is our awareness of them. But here's the truth. Energy doesn't disappear just because it's hidden. In fact, hidden energy becomes the most powerful. The items you store, the order you maintain, the intention you carry when you open and close that drawer, those are all silent instructions to your environment. And they echo back into your life in ways most people never realize. When I walk into a house that feels stuck, financially, emotionally, creatively, I never start with the living room. I don't go to the office, I walk to the kitchen, gently open the forgotten drawer, and listen. It never lies, because your drawer holds more than tape and old coupons. It holds your relationship with money, your belief about order, your subconscious pattern of pushing things aside. And that's why this video matters more than it may seem. This isn't about decorating or superstition. This is about reclaiming your quietest spaces so they stop quietly draining you and start supporting you instead. Think about it for a moment. Each time you toss something in that drawer without thought, you reinforce the idea that some parts of your life are meant to be ignored. That wealth will come later. That clarity is for another day. But your drawer is always listening. And when you treat it with respect, when you fill it with the right symbols, the right anchors, the right mindset, it transforms. It becomes an altar, a vault, a quiet place where your energy gathers and waits for instruction. That's the heart of what we're diving into today. Not just which objects to place, but why, what they mean, how they work, and most importantly, how they reshape the energy of your life without a single person noticing, except you. Because here's what's really at stake. If you neglect this drawer, you're not just letting clutter build, you're letting your potential stagnate. You're inviting energy to settle instead of move. And in Feng Shui, that's one of the fastest ways to block opportunity. But if you align this space with intention, if you anchor it with clarity, protection, and purpose, you create a ripple effect that touches every area of your life, from your finances to your focus, from your confidence to your calm. I've seen it firsthand. In the home of a single mother juggling 2 jobs who cleaned and realigned her drawer with just 3 symbolic items and saw new job offers appear within weeks. In the apartment of a young artist who placed a handwritten financial affirmation inside a silk pouch, and within a month sold her first major commission. Not because the drawer is magic, but because the drawer was waiting for someone to treat it with consciousness. And that's what New Day Mindfulness is all about, helping you see the invisible layers that shape your everyday. Because your home is not just where you sleep, cook, and scroll, it's where you declare who you are. And your drawer, that's where you decide what you're ready to receive. So before we explore the 5 most powerful energy-aligning items you can place inside this space, I ask one small favor. If this message has touched something inside you, if you feel a gentle nudge that maybe your drawer deserves more than dust and chaos, please take a moment to support this channel. Your 1 like, 1 share, or 1 subscribe brings us closer to reaching 5,000 subscribers, which means I can keep showing up here to bring you grounded, heartfelt teachings to elevate your life and your space. And in return, I promise you this. What you'll learn today could shift your home in ways you never imagined. Not overnight, not with glitter and candles, but through small, deliberate, conscious shifts that speak louder than any trend. Because when the invisible becomes intentional, your life begins to move again. Let's take a breath, quiet our minds, and begin this journey, not with noise, but with noticing. Your drawer is waiting, and it has something important to say. Let's listen.
Quantity. Is so sonic as then.
The most overlooked gold mine, the drawer itself. This drawer, it's not just wood, screws, and glides. It's a forgotten chamber, a quiet universe within your home that, if you pay close attention, is speaking to you every single day, and not with words, but with vibrations, with signals, with energetic memory. You might think it's just where old receipts, rubber bands, expired coupons, or dead batteries go to die. But let me offer you something else, something deeper. Because in over 20 years of working with homes, families, builders, and spiritual seekers, I can tell you this: no space in your home is ever neutral. It's either working for you or against you. And that drawer, the one in your kitchen, it might just be the most powerful, energetic ally you never realized you had. Let's take a moment to pause here. Just breathe and really think about this. In most American households, drawers are catch-alls. That term alone tells you everything. It's where energy is thrown without intention, where function overrides feeling. But in Feng Shui, that very tendency, this notion that something is hidden, out of sight, makes a drawer incredibly potent. Because whatever is out of your conscious view tends to seep directly into your subconscious. And your subconscious is the architect of your reality. It shapes how you make money, how you connect with others, and how you feel about your place in the world. So if your drawer is filled with randomness, clutter, expired things, or objects you haven't touched in 5 years, what messages is it whispering into your home's energy field? Now I know what some of you might be thinking. It's just a drawer, I barely open it. But that's exactly the point. It's passive, quiet, and undisturbed. And that makes it fertile ground for unconscious patterns to take root. Think about it like a garden. A chaotic drawer is like trying to grow flowers in cracked soil. You can plant the seeds, you can even add beautiful symbolic items, but nothing will take hold if the foundation isn't prepared. The drawer must be cleansed, honored, and seen as sacred space. Not because it's magical, but because intention itself is magnetic. When you begin treating the hidden parts of your home with the same respect you give the visible ones, the entire energy of your space shifts. Let me share a story from one of my early clients, a woman named Diane, who worked as a real estate broker in Northern California. She was deeply intuitive, successful, and financially stable, but she always felt like her money wasn't staying. It came in and then flowed right back out. She hired me to do a full energy scan of her home, and we discovered that her kitchen drawer, yes, the one beneath the coffee station, was stuffed to the brim with expired coupons, broken pens, fast food menus, and unopened mail. To her, it was a non-issue. To her home, it was a bottleneck. That drawer sat at the heart of her kitchen, which in Feng Shui represents nourishment and abundance. We cleared it, reset it with intentional symbols of wealth and flow, and within weeks, not only did she begin saving more, but new unexpected income sources started appearing. Clients referred by others, investments that matured, even a tax return she'd forgotten about. She didn't change her career, her routine, or her bank account. She changed her relationship with the quiet parts of her home. And that brings me to a personal truth I've observed in hundreds of homes. The most powerful shifts don't come from moving furniture or buying Lucky Charms. They come from finally paying attention to what you've ignored. And for many of us, that starts with this drawer. So if you're listening right now and wondering where to begin, begin here. with this small space. Because the way you treat your drawer is a direct reflection of how you treat the unseen parts of yourself. If it's messy, neglected, or forgotten, ask yourself, where else am I neglecting what I can't see? Your emotions, your finances, your boundaries? Now let's talk about the drawer's role as a storage battery. In Feng Shui, we work not just with form, but with qi, the subtle life force that flows through your home. Qi doesn't just move through doorways or windows. It settles, it pools, and in enclosed, rarely disturbed spaces like drawers, it accumulates. If the contents of your drawer are filled with stress, think unpaid bills, angry notes, broken objects, that stress doesn't disappear. It sits, it hums, and it radiates into your home like low-frequency noise. But the opposite is also true. If your drawer holds intention, like a well-tended garden, it amplifies calm, abundance, and alignment. So how do you begin transforming this drawer from dumping zone to energetic asset? First, you clear it completely. Every single thing comes out. You don't evaluate items while they're still in the drawer. That's like trying to clean a wound without removing the bandage. Next, wipe the inside clean, not just with a cloth, but with presence. As you clean, you are literally telling your home, I am ready to create space for flow. Then, and this is where most people stop, you pause. Before you put anything back in, you take a breath and ask yourself, what energy do I want this drawer to hold? That question is everything. It's the blueprint for your next chapter. Once you've set your intention, then you can begin placing items back in, but only those that align with your desired energy. Maybe that means a small fabric pouch of coins, symbolizing wealth that is gathered and protected. Maybe a handwritten note that says, I am safe to receive. Maybe a clean pen that represents new contracts, fresh ideas, and communication. You might include a small stone like citrine or pyrite, if that resonates with you, or a cinnamon stick for flow and sweetness. What matters is not the object itself, but the meaning you attach to it, because energy responds to meaning. Now, I want to make something clear. This isn't about superstition. This isn't about turning your home into a shrine. It's about reclaiming relationship. When we neglect the small spaces, the quiet corners, the forgotten drawers, we unknowingly neglect parts of ourselves. But when we return with presence, when we say, I see you, I honor you, something shifts. That drawer becomes more than just a container. It becomes a mirror. And what you place in that mirror will ripple outward into your day, your choices, your money, your mood. Let's bring this full circle with a metaphor. Think of the drawer as your bank account. You wouldn't want it filled with old receipts, loose change, and bills you'd never open, would you? No, you'd want it organized, intentional, and reflective of where you're going, not where you've been. Your kitchen drawer is the same. Treat it like a sacred wallet, a silent affirmation that you are aligned with order, clarity, and peace. So here's your gentle challenge. Shama Yashish. Tonight, go to your drawer, open it, clear it, wipe it down, breathe into it, and decide what kind of energy you want that drawer to hum with while you sleep. Because make no mistake, your home is always speaking to you, and when you start listening, it listens back. Let this section not just be an analysis, but an invitation to begin small, to begin now. Because when you tend to the drawer, you tend to the self. And when the self is tended to, everything else begins to flow. 2, seeds of wealth. The quiet symbolism of beans. They say wealth begins with mindset, but I've come to understand that mindset often needs an anchor. Something physical, something humble, something alive with meaning, even in stillness. That's why today I want to bring your attention to an object so modest, so overlooked, it's almost laughable to associate it with prosperity. The bean. Not gold coins, not stock portfolios, not cash bundles. Beans, yes, beans. Now, before your logic kicks in and dismisses this as sentimental folklore, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share isn't based on superstition. It's based on symbolism, frequency, and generational memory woven into our subconscious. In Feng Shui, nothing is ever just what it seems. Every object is a frequency carrier, and beans, especially dried beans, have carried the energetic blueprint of survival, sustenance, and future harvests for millennia. They don't just sit still in your drawer. They wait, they signal, they promise, and when placed with intention, they can transform a dusty compartment into a magnet for long-term wealth. Think about this. When ancestors stored beans, it wasn't about culinary convenience. It was about insurance. Insurance against famine, against loss, against scarcity. Beans were a statement. We believe there will be another season worth living for. That belief, that vibration of hope and preparedness, echoes through time. So when you place a pouch of beans, especially red, black, or green, into your kitchen drawer, you are, in essence, planting the idea of future prosperity where it matters most, within your home's daily rhythm, not on an altar, not in some sacred corner, but in the drawer that holds everyday tools, paper clips, batteries, tape, the language of daily survival. Let me offer you a visual. A soft cloth pouch resting quietly among neatly arranged items, filled with 7 or 9 whole dry beans. It doesn't shout, it doesn't glow, but it carries weight, emotional weight, historical weight, wealth weight. These numbers, 7 and 9, are not arbitrary. In Feng Shui numerology, odd numbers vibrate with dynamic energy. 7 reflects inner wisdom and financial awareness. 9 signals culmination, completeness, and universal success. You're not just putting in a pouch, you're setting up a coded conversation with your subconscious mind that says, abundance is on the way. It may not knock loudly, but it will come. This is the kind of quiet wealth energy we rarely talk about in modern society, where the loudest voice wins and the flashiest display gets the credit. But energy doesn't work that way. Real wealth doesn't roar. It roots, it anchors, it whispers. And speaking of whispers, let me share a story that adds more dimension to this practice. In her early career, Oprah Winfrey, now one of the most recognized and influential women in the world, often recalled her grandmother cooking beans in their modest home, not because they had options, but because they didn't. Beans were hope meals. They represented survival. But more than that, they were a subtle placeholder for a better future. The scent of beans cooking wasn't just nourishment, it was prophecy. That memory stayed with her. And even now, with access to any luxury she wants, she's known to return to humble routines that remind her of her roots. Beans, for her, weren't just food. They were foundation. And if someone with her wealth and reach finds strength in symbolic memory, why not us? You see, every object we place with intention in our space becomes a bridge between desire and manifestation. But not all objects are created equal. Beans are particularly potent because of how universal they are. Every culture on Earth has some relationship with beans. Lentils in India, black beans in Brazil, mung beans in China, fava in the Mediterranean, kidney beans in the American South. That shared recognition makes beans a kind of cross-cultural energetic amplifier. They are accessible, affordable, and humble, yet they carry the energy of miracles. Now let me be practical with you for a moment. I want you to go beyond the idea of tossing beans into a bag and calling it a ritual. That's not what we're doing here. Feng Shui is not about performative gestures. It's about intention made visible. So when you prepare your bean pouch, do it with full clarity. Choose your beans carefully. Red beans symbolize vibrant life force and activation of passion in your pursuits. Black beans are grounding. They absorb toxic energy and help stabilize chaotic finances. Green beans represent growing wealth, money that doesn't just arrive, but multiplies. Choose 7 or 9 based on your energy. 7 for inward alignment and wisdom, 9 for outward momentum and completion. Use a natural fabric, cotton or linen. Avoid plastic or the synthetic bags, and these interrupt energetic flow. Hold the beans in your hand before placing them in the pouch. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Visualize not just wealth, but stability, security, nourishment. Visualize a life where money doesn't bring stress, it brings peace. Not extravagance, but enough. Enough to breathe, enough to rest, enough to give. Once the pouch is prepared, place it gently in the drawer, not tossed in like another item, but with reverence. Say a quiet phrase, something like, "You carry the seed of my future wealth. You are safe here." This isn't magic, it's neural anchoring. You're linking physical motion with internal belief, and belief, when repeated, reshapes everything. But there's one critical rule you must follow. Never use broken, moldy, or cracked beans. Just as you wouldn't deposit torn money into a bank account, you don't plant symbols of decay in your energetic container. Beans that carry visible signs of deterioration also carry dormant frequencies of financial instability. So if you ever notice a pouch losing freshness, replace it. The energy must stay alive. Now let's deepen this with a simple but overlooked truth. Energy loves reverence. The more respect you show your prosperity symbols, the more they seem to return the favor. That's why I recommend checking your drawer once a month, not obsessively, but as a quiet ritual of gratitude. When you open it, smile gently. Let your eyes rest on the pouch. Say thank you. Even if your outer world hasn't changed yet, your internal ecosystem is already shifting. And if you're wondering, will this actually bring money? Pause and reframe the question. The more powerful question is, will this keep me aligned with wealth-generating energy? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Because clarity invites action. Action invites opportunity. Opportunity builds momentum. And momentum, sustained over time, is what wealth really is. This is why I often tell my students, don't expect the pouch to do the work. It's not a genie, it's a mirror. It reflects your mindset back to you. And if you treat it with care, it will slowly start to tune your thoughts, your decisions, and your energy field toward growth. Wealth is not an event, it's a frequency. And frequency responds to structure. That drawer with its quietly arranged symbols becomes your structure. Let me leave you with this. When farmers plant beans in spring, they don't stand over the soil demanding results. They trust, they water, they wait. Wealth, in its deepest form, grows the same way, quietly, faithfully, and always, from a seed. So if you're still wondering why we place a pouch of beans in a drawer instead of just focusing on income or bank accounts, let me answer this as clearly as I can. Because true abundance doesn't begin with money, it begins with belief. And belief needs a symbol, something earthy, something timeless, something you can hold in your hand and say, this is where it begins. And maybe, just maybe, that something is a bean. 3. Crystallizing wealth intentions. Pyrite or citrine stone. There comes a moment in every journey of change where belief alone isn't enough, where affirmations float like feathers unless something anchors them, where energy needs not just movement, but crystallization, something tangible, something that holds the vibration of what we're trying to become. That's where the stone comes in, not a diamond, not a jewel to show off, but a stone that remembers, a stone that holds energy without words. And in the language of Feng Shui, that stone is pyrite or citrine, two of the most quietly potent carriers of wealth frequency we can place in our drawer. Let me be clear, we're not choosing these stones because they're trendy or because someone said they're lucky. We're choosing them because they resonate with the same energetic signatures that build wealth: stability, clarity, confidence, and most importantly, self-worth. You see, wealth doesn't arrive for those who simply wish. It arrives for those who feel worthy of receiving it. And if you've ever struggled with doubt, with hesitation, with that quiet inner voice that says, maybe this isn't for me, then this small stone might be your turning point. Pyrite, often nicknamed fool's gold, has long been misunderstood. People dismissed it because it wasn't real gold. But in dismissing it, they missed its deeper truth. Pyrite is grounding, strong, structured. It carries the frequency of resilience. It reminds you to stand firm in your value, even when the world around you wavers. And citrine, with its soft golden hue, is the sun captured in mineral form. It doesn't command, it glows, it encourages, it lifts. Together, these two stones don't just invite wealth, they embody it. Now let's talk about placement, because just like with the beans, it's not just about what you place, it's about how and why you place it. You'll want to wrap your chosen stone, whether it's a rough citrine point or a polished pyrite chunk, in a soft cloth, something natural, cotton or silk. Avoid flashy synthetic materials. Why? Because the stone is not meant to be a decoration. It's meant to be an anchor, a quiet keeper of your intent. Place it at the bottom of your drawer, not on tight, not in the middle, but underneath. That's important because in Feng Shui, what's beneath holds the foundation. And this stone is your foundation for wealth belief. Now imagine this. Every time you open the drawer, whether to grab a pen or a paper clip, there it is. Quiet, hidden, but powerful. A small vibration that whispers to your subconscious, you are ready, you are worthy, you are becoming. It's not dramatic, it's not theatrical, but it builds day by day. Every glance, every interaction, it reinforces the identity of someone who is financially grounded, someone who receives with grace, someone who grows without fear. Let me pause here and ask you something personal. How many times have you set a goal and then doubted yourself halfway through? How many times have you looked at your finances, your career, your dreams, and felt like they were slipping just out of reach? That isn't because you're weak. It's because your beliefs had nothing holding them in place. You were trying to build a skyscraper on shifting sand. But when you place a crystal in that drawer, carefully, intentionally, you're saying, no more shifting. From now on, I am stable. From now on, I am aligned. This might sound poetic, but it's also backed by neuroscience. Studies on object anchoring and neural pattern reinforcement show that repeated exposure to intentional symbols strengthens specific neural pathways. That means when your eyes glance at that drawer, even unconsciously, the presence of the crystal is reinforcing the wealth-ready identity in your mind. It's not superstition, it's science layered with symbolism. And there's something else too. Stones, especially natural crystals, absorb emotional charge. They remember frequency. So if you hold your pyrite or citrine for just a minute every few days and breathe into it your goals, whether that's financial independence, paying off debt, growing your business, supporting your family, those goals don't disappear when you let go. They live in the stone. They echo every time you open the drawer. That's why it matters that you treat it with respect. Let me share a story to bring this into clearer focus. There was a self-made entrepreneur I once worked with, an immigrant who came to the US with nothing but a duffel bag and a dream. He started out washing dishes. Then he worked construction. Eventually, he opened a small repair shop. He made it a habit to keep a chunk of pyrite in the bottom drawer of his desk. Nothing fancy, no label, just something his grandmother gave him before he left home, telling him it would hold his strength when he couldn't. And every time he faced doubt, a tax issue, a downturn, a betrayal, he would open the drawer, glance at that stone, and remember, I've already come farther than anyone expected. I will go further still. Years later, he owned 3 businesses, employed dozens of workers, and taught his children the same practice. Not because the stone had power, but because he did. And the stone reminded him daily. So what about you? What reminders are you surrounding yourself with? What anchors are holding your energy steady? If all you ever see are bills, to-do lists, and chaos, how can you expect to feel grounded, prosperous, or aligned? This stone, placed with intention, begins to change that, not because it's magical, but because it helps you remember who you're becoming. Now let's go even deeper. What's the best time to set the stone? Ideally, you'll do this during a quiet evening. Dim the lights, turn off your phone, take 5 minutes, just 5. Sit with the stone in your palm, close your eyes, let the silence settle, and then speak, not out loud unless you want to, but clearly in your heart. I deserve peace, I deserve stability, I deserve financial ease. Let that vibration seep into the stone, then wrap it, place it beneath. And every time you return, it will return that energy to you quietly, consistently. And one last detail, because it matters. Cleanse the stone monthly. Just like dust builds on physical items, stagnant energy builds in symbolic items. You can cleanse with smoke, like incense or sage, with moonlight or with salt, but always do it with gratitude. Because when you care for what holds your energy begins to care for you. In this drawer of yours, this now transformed energetic capsule, you have already planted the seeds of prosperity with beans. But seeds only thrive when the soil is stable, when the roots can cling to something solid. This crystal is that solid. It is the grounding force that allows all other symbols to take root. And in the silent language of wealth building, grounding is everything. So let me ask you this. Are you ready to give your goals something to stand on? Are you ready to stop drifting and start anchoring? If so, then find your stone, hold it, charge it, place it, and let it do its quiet work. Not to bring you something outside of you, but to hold firm the belief already inside. Because the most powerful wealth-building tool you will ever use is not a course, not a budget, not a strategy. It is the part of you that believes you're worthy of receiving. And sometimes all that belief needs is a rock that remembers. Writing the future, handwritten financial intention. There's a moment right after the crystal is placed when the drawer no longer feels like a container. It starts to feel like a portal, a space that is quietly waiting, not for clutter, not for carelessness, but for clarity. And clarity, my friend, is the single most underused yet most powerful energy tool we have. It's the difference between trying to light a fire with damp matches and striking one with purpose, intention, and the right kind of fuel. That fuel in this case is your words, not typed, not spoken into the air, but written by hand, with breath, with backbone, with direction. Because a goal spoken might fade, a goal typed might get buried in digital dust. But a goal written by hand, that's a contract, that's an anchor, that's a map drawn with your own energetic ink. Let's pause and zoom out, because you might be wondering, why does writing a number or a statement on paper matter in Feng Shui? Isn't this about placement, flow, colors, objects? But here's the truth. In advanced Feng Shui practice, everything you place in your home becomes a carrier of energy. But the clearest carriers, the ones that actually work, are the ones charged with intention. A stone holds belief, beans hold ancestral memory, and handwritten words, they hold direction. They tell your space exactly what you're calling in, not just someday, but now. The drawer in this case becomes a symbolic vault, and what you write becomes the currency you're choosing to store. But let's not romanticize this. There's a reason this works, and it's not magic. It's neuroscience. Studies from the University of Tokyo, Princeton, and UCLA all point to the same truth. When you write by hand, your brain engages in what's called mental lifting. That means more regions of your brain light up, especially those linked to decision-making, focus, and self-regulation, compared to typing or speaking. So when you handwrite something like, "I earn $5,000 per month doing what I love," your brain starts architecting that as a plan, not just a hope. You activate your inner planner, your inner engineer. And those are the parts of you that quietly start to notice opportunities, adjust behavior, and build alignment without you even realizing it. This is why clarity is everything. Vague statements won't work. Writing down "I want to be rich" is like handing the universe a crumpled wish list with no address. That drawer can't amplify what it doesn't understand, and neither can your subconscious. But when you write, "I am attracting $5,000 monthly through work that feels aligned and joyful," that's not a wish. That's a blueprint. That's instruction. That's frequency-specific language. And remember, Feng Shui is not superstition. It's spatial psychology. It's pattern awareness. The clearer the pattern, the stronger the magnet. Let me tell you about someone who used this practice not once, but for every financial leap in her life. Her name? Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx and one of the world's youngest self-made billionaires. Before her company even had a product line, she wrote a check to herself for $1 million and tucked it away. That wasn't for show. It was an act of internal alignment. She didn't wait for someone to declare her worthy of wealth. She wrote her own future and treated that paper like a promise, not a fantasy, a promise. So here's what I recommend. Get a piece of natural paper, not something you pulled from a printer tray, something with some texture, handmade if possible. Get a pen that feels right, black ink for grounding, gold ink for prosperity, or green for growth. And before you write anything, sit quietly. Place your hand over the drawer. Let your breath settle. Let the noise outside of you hush. Then ask yourself, not just what do I want, but what feels aligned, olive, and ready. The difference between those two questions is everything. One chases fantasy, the other channels readiness. And when you write from readiness, your energy sharpens like a compass needle, finally finding north. Now let's talk content. Be specific. Don't write 5 things, write one. One goal that matters deeply. One number that stretches you but doesn't scare you into disbelief. Write it in the present tense, not "I will" or "I hope," but "I am," because the drawer responds to presence. Your space responds to what you believe is already becoming. For example, I am earning $7,000 a month in my creative business and feel financially relaxed and proud. Or I am attracting aligned clients who pay in full and on time. These are not wishes. They are declarations coded into your environment. Fold the paper neatly, no torn edges, no wrinkles. Smooth it with your hand. Wrap it if you want in fabric like you did with the crystal. Place it directly beside the stone, or even underneath it. But don't put it on top of clutter. And definitely don't place anything on top of it that feels heavier in symbolism, like a knife, metal keys, or receipts from debts. This paper needs to sit where it can breathe, where its frequency is not crushed. And now the maintenance. Once you place it, don't obsessively open the drawer to check if it's working. That's scarcity energy. Instead, every time you do open the drawer naturally, maybe once a day, maybe less, let your eyes rest on that folded paper and simply breathe. A small, confident inhale. That's it. Let it remind you, my future is being written by me. Because here's the truth. Everything you write, read, touch, or place in this drawer is either reinforcing belief or reinforcing doubt. And you get to decide which one wins. I've had clients who've repeated this process every 90 days. Why 90? Because that's roughly how long it takes to rewire patterns of identity and behavior. Every quarter they revisit the drawer. They remove the old paper, read it, reflect it. Has it happened? Has it changed? Then they write a new one, always intentional. Over time, the drawer becomes less of a drawer and more of a rhythm, a ritual of renewal, a space that tracks their transformation, not just in numbers, but in the quiet expansion of who they are. One final note, and it's important. Never share the exact words you wrote with people who might mock them, question them, or project their fears onto them. That drawer is sacred. That paper is personal. Protect your intention the way you'd protect a seedling. Keep it in fertile ground until it's strong enough to grow in the open. So now I invite you to pause. Find a quiet moment tonight. Pull out a sheet of paper. Let your hand do the speaking. And remember, it's not the ink that holds power. It's your readiness to claim the future, to write it, to see it as real. Not someday, but now. 5. Absorbing negativity, salt and clove pouch. There comes a moment in any energetic shift when you realize that addition is not always a solution. Sometimes what blocks abundance isn't the absence of a crystal or the lack of clarity in your written goals. It's the quiet, invisible presence of what's still lingering in the background. Old stories, residual stress, lingering disappointment, that subtle layer of heaviness that follows you from room to room, even though everything looks fine. This is the part most people miss, because before good energy can truly enter, the stale energy must leave. And in the language of Feng Shui, Bat and clove become two of the most efficient, symbolic, and powerful agents for this purification. This isn't just a hack. This is ancient design. From Himalayan mountains to Mediterranean villages, cultures across the globe have instinctively reached for salt, not as seasoning, but as a purifier. Salt doesn't just flavor your food, it absorbs, it contains, it holds space for release. That's why it's buried in corners, placed near windows, used in baths, and in this case, wrapped into the quiet intention of a drawer. Clove, on the other hand, brings a very different kind of energy. Where salt is passive absorption, clove is active resistance. It's fire, it's vitality, it's the smell of movement, of boldness, of courage when things feel stagnant. In spiritual traditions, clove is often used to protect financial energy and ward off ill intent. Not because it's spicy, but because it carries a kind of energetic fire that nothing low vibration wants to mess with. When you combine salt and clove, you're doing more than placing ingredients in a pouch. You're creating a dual force filtration system. One that clears and one that recharges. One that soaks up pain and one that guards your light. Now let's break down the setup. You'll want natural sea salt or Himalayan salt, not processed table salt. The purer the structure, the stronger its energetic grip. Next, whole cloves. 7 to 9 is ideal. Place both into a breathable fabric pouch. Linen or muslin work well. Avoid plastic or anything that seals tight. This pouch isn't meant to trap. It's meant to breathe, absorb, and quietly do its work. Place it near the back of the drawer, behind your written affirmation, or to one side of your crystal if you're using one. It doesn't need to be front and center. In fact, Its power grows when it works in the background, out of sight, but never out of sync. Every time you open the drawer, it filters. Every time you close it, it seals. That's the rhythm. That's the quiet pulse of detoxification you're inviting in. Let me share a story that might bring this to life. There's a couple in Colorado I worked with, parents of two, both working, both exhausted. After a series of layoffs, financial pressure had turned their once warm home into a field of tension. Arguments started small and turned sharp. The house felt heavy. They tried budgeting, therapy, even rearranging furniture, but something still clung to the air. That's when I introduced this pouch. Not as a fix-all, but as a beginning. They placed one pouch in the kitchen drawer, one in the bedroom, refreshed it every 30 days. On the same day each month, they'd light a candle, empty the old salt into the garden, and replace it with new. Within 3 months, things shifted, subtly at first, but then one job offer, then another, tension dissolved. Their home didn't just get quieter, it got lighter. And it started with a decision to filter, not just manage, what no longer served them. Now here's the part most people miss. They build the pouch once and then forget it. They assume it works forever. But salt, just like any filter, saturates. It absorbs to capacity, and then it starts to sit. And once it sits too long, it can become a reservoir, not for clearing energy, but for holding stuck energy. Imagine using a dirty air filter and wondering why the room still smells stale. That's exactly what happens when you don't refresh your salt pouch every 30 days. In Feng Shui, consistency is not about being obsessive. It's about honoring the cycle. Because what you maintain reveals what you value. And in this case, you're signaling to the universe, I value clean, clear, supported energy. So let's make this practical. Choose a day, any day, that feels easy to remember. Maybe the first of each month, maybe the full moon, maybe your birthday number. Write it down in your calendar. And on that day, open the drawer. Take out the pouch, thank it for what it's absorbed. Yes, actually thank it. Then empty the contents into soil or wash them away in running water. Do not throw it in the trash. This isn't garbage, it's transformed energy. Honor that. Then refill the pouch with new salt, new cloves, and place it back with a small whisper of intention. Clear and energize again. Now let's zoom back out. Why does this practice matter so much? Because abundance isn't just built on attraction. It's also built on release. You can't call in flow when your drawers are clogged with what's been draining you. And you can't amplify financial clarity when your environment is echoing stress you haven't yet cleared. The salt and clove pouch becomes your quiet partner in energetic hygiene. The one thing most people overlook until it's too late, but not you, not anymore. By now, you've learned how the drawer itself becomes an invitation. You've planted seeds with beans, anchored belief with crystals, written your future into form. And now you're learning how to clear the funk, because clarity and abundance don't shout. They wait for space, they wait for breath. They wait for homes that are not just warm but aligned. So let me leave you with this. Every drawer in your house holds potential. But the one you choose to ritualize, clean, and empower, that one becomes a personal altar for prosperity. And salt and clove, they are your guardians, your detox agents, your invisible protectors against the noise, the fear, the pressure that the outside world brings in. If this section resonated with you, let it be the one that re-anchors your commitment, not just to manifesting, but to maintaining, not just to attracting, but to clearing. Because when your drawer filters what no longer belongs, your life becomes a vessel for everything that does. Final, making the ordinary sacred. You see, this was never about superstition. It's not about whether salt and cloves work like magic, or whether a bean pouch guarantees a raise. It's about your energy, your choice to treat even the most overlooked space in your kitchen as a place that holds meaning. Because in Feng Shui and in life, the things we treat with care begin to respond with clarity. The drawer, yes, that humble little drawer, isn't just a box with batteries and rubber bands. It's a mirror, a subtle altar, a reflection of what you're ready to invite in or what you unconsciously keep pushing away. You're not changing your drawer. You're changing your relationship with energy. Let's step back and remember what you've created here. You started by honoring the drawer itself, not as clutter storage, but as a space of quiet potential. Then you planted symbolic seeds, beans that whisper of growth, sustenance, and ancestral resilience. You anchored your beliefs with crystals, solid reminders that wealth begins in self-worth, not in numbers. You wrote your future in your own handwriting, because goals are not just goals when they live in your body, they become instructions to the universe. You filtered the air with salt and cloves, letting go of what drains you so something new can breathe in. This isn't a shopping list of Feng Shui items. It's a living process, a practice, a shift. And now that you've begun, your drawer will never be just a drawer again. But here's what most people miss, what 90% of people do when they try to shift energy in their homes. They rush. They place objects with their hands but forget their hearts. They treat these steps as tasks, not as invitations. They skip the intention. They forget to refresh. And then they wonder why the magic doesn't stick. Let this be your reminder. The real power isn't in the object. It's in the way you engage with it. The drawer only holds energy because you give it something to hold. At New Day Mindfulness, we don't just decorate spaces, we redesign relationships with energy, with intention, with yourself. Our mission has never been about superstition. It's about simplifying ancient wisdom so it can meet your real, everyday life in a language that feels human, in steps that feel doable, and in energy that feels like home. Because true prosperity isn't always loud. Sometimes it's folded quietly into the corner of a drawer that finally feels like yours. So let this be your takeaway. If there's one drawer in your home that you pass by every day that feels like a dumping ground or an afterthought, make it sacred, clear it, tend to it, fill it with symbols that mean something to you. Because when your drawer reflects care, your home begins to align. And when your home aligns, your life responds. Wealth isn't always earned by doing more. Sometimes it begins by honoring what's already here, deeply, deliberately, and with love. If this video offered you even a small moment of clarity or made you see your space differently, I ask you from the heart, if this video inspired you in any way, please take a moment to like, share, and comment about your own experiences and subscribe to New Day Mindfulness. Your support will help me reach 5,000 followers and, more importantly, allow me to continue creating meaningful, practical, and deeply human content to support your journey toward a life of calm, clarity, and quiet prosperity. Because you deserve a life that flows, a space that breathes, and a drawer that no longer holds chaos, but intention. Thank you for being here. Your presence matters more than you know.